Welcome back to the channel. I'm hyped today. Today is the trade deadline for the NBA, so you know moves are being made all across the NBA. We're going to be reacting to today, as you saw from the title and thumbnail, the Nikola Vucevic and Farouq Aminu trade for Otto Porter and Wendell Carter Jr. that took place today between the Chicago Bulls and the Orlando Magic. Just to repeat, if you missed anything, the Woj bomb that came out at 10:05 my time today said, here's the deal. Bulls land Nikola Vucevic and Farouq Aminu for Otto Porter, Wendell Carter Jr., and 2 first-round picks. Huge addition for Chicago, who remains in pursuit of Lonzo Ball. The Magic are moving toward a rebuild now with Aaron Gordon deal on deck. So what that instantly tells me from that, obviously, he said it there. The Magic are not, they're done making a push. I believe right now they're like 15 and 20-something. I mean, they're not a good team. They're a basement dweller in the East. And they weren't going to make a playoff push this year. Their rosters wasn't deep enough. They had guys like Jonathan Isaac, who was out. Mo Bamba was out. They had notable players who just were not playing for this team this year because of various reasons, but that kind of held them back. On top of that, you know, it was pretty clear that the Magic were going to do something, because the Magic have been a team for all of my life who have sort of had a very strange front office in the way that, like, they were sort of okay with being mediocre and just remaining in that, like, you know, I don't know, 35, 40 win threshold, like literally my entire life. And for as long as I've been paying attention to basketball, Nikola Vucevic has always been the guy in Orlando that looked to me like he was just stranded there. He would put up, you know, double-doubles night in and night out, and he wouldn't get any recognition or any spotlight time because he plays for the Magic. He's not playing for a contender. He's not playing for a spotlight team like, you know, the Celtics, the Warriors, the Lakers. I mean, it's that simple. Looking into numbers, though, I'm pretty excited that Chicago dealt Wendell Carter for Nikola Vucevic, because I don't think Wendell's been playing like a lot of Chicago fans really expected him to play. Definitely not to the potential that I think he still can play to. And we'll wait and see how well he produces in Orlando. But it says right here, Carter Jr., the number 7 overall pick for the 2018 draft by Chicago. So far in his career, is averaging 10.9 points, right around 8 boards and 2 assists a game. But I mean, he lost his starting job this year with the Bulls. He hasn't been in the starting lineup with the Bulls this year. They sort of moved like Patrick Williams to that 4 spot and just kind of brought Laurie down to that 1 spot, and they've obviously worked in guys like Thaddeus Young and whatnot. So the Bulls roster has sort of evolved. And as far as Otto Porter goes, he has just not had the production for Chicago that I think a lot of Bulls fans wanted. If you look at this season, he's averaging 10 points, right around 5.5 boards, 2 assists. But, you know, he's known as a dead-on shooter, and he is shooting 40% from 3 this year. So you can't ask for too much else from him. I expected Otto to just be a bigger contributor for this Bulls team. It's that simple. I didn't think he has nights where, yeah, he'll put up like 15 points and go, you know, 4 for 6 from 3 and you know, 2 for 3 from the line or something like that, right? And then he'll have nights where he'll put up 6 points in like 20 minutes, and you're just like, he's just standing out there. He doesn't contribute a whole lot on defense for this Bulls team. So at that point, what is he doing? But yeah, Nikola Vucevic, on the other hand, let's look at the guys in Magic dealt. He's averaging 24.5 points this year. I mean, he's having a career year for this Magic team. He is playing out of his mind. He's providing this team with the interior defense that they have, the little interior defense that they have, and he's playing well for this Magic team. When he goes to the Bulls, I think the big thing I'm excited for is the fact that now, more than before, Zach LaVine, guys like Kobe White, I think now, and even Lauri Markkanen will have the ability to legitimately create shots for themselves at a higher rate than they were before, okay? Because previous to this, when you had Wendell Carter staying home, it was hard to space the floor because Wendell Carter isn't that expendable. He can't go out on the 3-point perimeter and just jack up threes all day like Laurie can. Thaddeus Young even has improved his 3-point shot over his career, and he can do that now. But Nikola Vucevic is an all-around guy that is just an all-around modern-day big man. He can make the outside shot. We know that. He can obviously dominate that inside post game with hook shots. He can attack the offensive boards. I mean, he is a monster. And as far as Farouq Aminu goes, I think he's honestly probably the least relevant player in this deal. He played his career in various locations, played a bit in New Orleans and in Orlando, but, you know, he's a seasoned veteran. He's not going to do too much for the Chicago team, just like he didn't do too much in Orlando, really. I don't even know how many minutes he's going to get. I'm going to just assume he's going to sort of consume and take over that role that Otto Porter played, just being the guy off the bench that we call to in times of desperation sometimes. And if he plays that role better than Otto Porter, I can expect him to get more minutes than Otto Porter. But yeah, the big thing though, the Bulls did trade 2 first-round picks to the Magic, and more news is coming out of the making of this video. As far as I can tell, it is protected. Both picks are protected, and therefore the 2021, so this upcoming NBA draft, as well as the 2023 NBA draft, both first-rounders, like we said. And I don't know the restrictions on that, to be quite frank with you. I haven't seen too much on it. It's good that they're protected, because if the Bulls were to give up 2 unprotected picks, that'd just be a shocker to me, because I don't think Vucevic and Aminu alone are worth 2 unprotected first-round picks, especially from this Bulls team. I mean, the Bulls are on a skid right now, and they're under 500, and I do know that they have a chance to make a push for the playoffs this year, but it's not like this Bulls team is like a 4-seed or a 3-seed or a 2-seed that's just like missing that extra piece just to get over the hump against teams like Cleveland and Milwaukee. But I like it. I mean, it's not like I saw in Funky's video. Follow him, subscribe to him if you haven't already. Shout out to him. He was like, it's not always bad to make a push, which I agree with. I mean, I think we're a lot of times in this modern NBA era consumed with, okay, tank, get the draft picks, blah, 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 like tank for Zion. In years past, there's been tons of other sort of campaigns to tank for the star player in the draft, but I like this a lot. I like this move a lot. I think this makes the Bulls better. I think this helps our chances of even finishing as high as a 6 seed or a 7 seed in the East, which is good because, again, the Bulls are a young team. They have guys that still will take seasons to blend together, to improve upon the offseason, to get better. I like the move from head coach Billy Donovan from the Bulls front office. I like this a lot. As far as if I think the Bulls are still going to be able to make an adequate push for Lonzo, obviously Woj said in his tweet that the Bulls are going to make an effort to, but that doesn't mean that they're going to actually concede upon anything. I think it could happen. I would like it to happen because I think Lonzo's playing out of his mind this year, and I think he'd fit in really well with most of the Bulls. I don't know how well he'd fit in with Zach LaVine. That's a thing, though. I think he's a better option, though, than Kobe White, if I'm being honest with you. So that's how I really feel about this. Thank you guys for sticking around to the end of this video. Let me know who you thought won this trade in the comments down below. Be sure to like and subscribe. You can follow us on Twitter at Chicago Karl. Follow us on Instagram, chicagokarl.yt. Have a nice day. Be nice to each other. I'm out.